Good morning. My name is Henry Pitt. I'm the treasurer of the IHPBA Foundation, and this is a presentation of the most recent two Kenneth Warren Fellows. The picture there is of Ken Warren, and in the year 2000, Ken donated $100,000 to the IHPBA for an international research program. The program was set up to provide $25,000 for salary support for the fellow to spend 12 months in a host's laboratory in another country. Our first fellow shown here was Charta van Heek from the Netherlands. She was doing research in the United States, and unfortunately, Ken Warren passed away in November 2001, but he was able to personally meet our first fellow, Charta. Over the next couple of years, a number of us worked with Ken's family. His children, Tom, Sally, and George, made a commitment to continue funding the fellowship. And in 2006, when I was president of the IHPBA, the Ken Warren Foundation was incorporated in the U.S., and you see here a picture of Ken's son, Tom, with his two sons, and they made a pledge of $500,000 to keep the foundation going. Over the first 10 years of the foundation, from 2001 to 2010, here shown are the pictures of 9 fellows, many of whom are in the audience and who you know, and we had a summary of their progress a couple of years ago that Charter and Michael put together, and this has been a very successful program. By 2 years ago, in 2016, we had 15 fellows, which meant that we had provided $375,000 of research support, and at that time we still had $345,000 in reserve, so there had been over $700,000 accrued towards this program. In 2016, when we were in Sao Paulo, a decision was made and was formulated to morph what had been the IHPBA Kenneth Warren Foundation into the IHPBA Foundation so that we could have a broader effort to support education, research, and humanitarian outreach in addition to the Warren Fellowship. Now, between 2011 and 2018 now, we have had 9 more fellows. You can see their pictures there. Our current fellows are shown here, but at this presentation, we will go over the fellows who have completed their work. So as of now, we have had 18 fellows and provided $450,000. We still have $406,000 in reserve, so our overall efforts have gained over $800,000, and you will have heard more at the General Assembly, and we'll hear more going forward about the educational and research and humanitarian efforts of the foundation. And our president, Wright Pinson, came up to me right before this and said, remind everybody that you can go to the website and easily donate for each of these efforts of the current foundation. But with that background, I want to introduce our 2 fellows who have completed their recent fellowships. The first is Masato Fujiyoshi. He came from Hokkaido, Japan. He worked at the University of Groningen in the Netherlands. Here's his picture. He will report today on his work in murine liver transplantation. And then our second completed fellow is Alexandra Rocha. She came from Marseille, France, and worked at Indiana University in Indianapolis in the US, and she will report on her work on adipose stromal cells in pancreatitis. So with that background, may I call on Dr. Fujiyoshi to give his presentation.